Am I the butthole? Tall Novel 6213 says, am I the butthole for forcing my family to eat healthy? I 44 female, have 3 kids. 16 male, James, 15 female, Liana, and 12 female, Sarah. James is 59 and about 160 pounds, which is perfectly healthy. Liana is 55 and at 149 pounds, which seems pretty normal, and I'm not concerned because she and James are both very active. However, Sarah is only 52 and weighs about 155, and she refuses to participate in sports and such because it makes her feel self-conscious. To try and counter this, I've taken to making much healthier, lighter meals, taking away soda and unhealthy snacks, like potato chips and snack cakes, and taking family walks after dinner. One incident being, this week, Liana had 6.5 hours of dance practice a day. It's a special prep camp, and became upset because I packed her a lunch instead of allowing her to go out to eat during her lunch break. I packed her a salad and a few turkey wraps most days, along with a few sides, like hard-boiled eggs. I gave her enough food to have energy during practice, but she became mad because the dance team at her school has a habit of all going out to eat in small groups / sometimes as one big group and basically carb loading and eating all the junk food they want during intensive weeks / days like these, because all the calories will burn off anyways. My husband, 44 male, took her side. My husband says it's unfair to be so strict on James and Liana, who are much more active than Sarah is. He told me that I shouldn't be expecting my more active children to eat the same diet as Sarah, and that I was setting unfair expectations among my eldest 2 children. In addition, he told me that I shouldn't be completely banning sweet treats from the house because James and Liana knew how to eat them in moderation. My husband told me that I was going to make James and Liana resent me for this, and I rebutted by saying that it was unfair for us to expect our obese child to diet by herself, and this argument continued on. Am I the butthole for forcing my whole family to eat? Trash Fire Etten says, your kids are different people, they need different things. If one daughter is doing 6.5 hours of intense workout, she will need much more calories than someone who isn't. And as a recent teenage girl, fitting in with the group is so much more important than you realize. Also, it's very likely that lunch is their only social time, so if her friends are going out and she isn't getting that connection either. And for your 12-year-old daughter, puberty changes body shape and weight drastically in ways that can be really hard to manage. While eating healthier is good, forcing a completely healthy diet and demonizing unhealthy foods is going to be detrimental to her relationship with food in the future. Same with her body image. If she has hesitation about doing a sport, find some sort of physical activity she has an interest in and encourage her to do that, but forcing exercise won't help when she has no one to make her. Instead of focusing on fixing her being overweight, which I think she's at a fairly average size, try and create healthy habits that she is able to keep up over time. With that, she'll be able to be self-sufficient as well, and won't need you pestering her about weight loss later. One last thing, being fat isn't a curse. Many people have different healthy weights just depending on how their body works. If you instill into your 12-year-old that, because her body holds more weight it's bad, she will hold that with her forever, and reversing that is far harder than losing weight. Edit, I wanted to add that, if this is a medical concern, try to get her tested for her thyroid levels and her A1C, because those mess with weight a lot. And if her A1C is too high, then it's more needed to help your daughter with diet and exercise, rather than she just seems too big. Lreets1 says, I'd like add you've said literally nothing about Sarah as a person. If you get her enrolled in things she actually likes, her self-confidence will bloom, and so will she note what she likes. Not what you think she should like. What Theknafafa says, Yeah, I used to think I hated exercise / working out, but like, as a kid I loved gymnastics and rock climbing, and as an adult I discovered I love skateboarding and workout video games like Ring Fit. Turns out I just didn't like being bored in PE class. A part ad 6518 says, AITA I packed her a lunch instead of allowing her to go out to eat during her lunch break. I packed her a salad and a few turkey wraps most days, along with a few sides, like hard-boiled eggs. Of course she's going to be upset. She wants to eat with her friends. Also, if she's dancing for 6.5 hours, what you're giving her isn't nearly enough. She actually needs carbs. You shouldn't force your older kids to diet when they don't need to. Your husband is right here, and you need to listen up. It's unfair for us to expect our obese child to diet by herself. I hope you aren't saying that in earshot of your 12yo, because it isn't healthy either. I get you want to do the right thing, but you're going about it the wrong way. Get some advice from a dietitian, so you can guide her eating without making her feel bad, or punishing your entire family. r/am I the butthole? In a setting 8536 says, am I the butthole for calling my sister a hypocrite and starting a fight after she posted about being a single mom doing it all on Father's Day? Back on Mother's Day, a friend of ours that has full custody of his kids posted as a joke about being a single dad and thanking everyone for thinking of him on Mother's Day. My sister and a bunch of other women went off on him for thinking he deserves credit for being a single parent and that Mother's Day is special and reserved for mothers. He laughed it off. It was a joke. Well, today is Father's Day, and like clockwork my sister, who shares custody with her ex-husband, posted about how hard it is being a single mom. So I commented that she is only a single mom half the time, and she gets spousal support and even child support. She deleted my comment and blocked me. She called me at home to call me an asshole for not supporting her. I reminded her what she said on Mother's Day. She said it's different, and that I'm a misogynistic ass for not understanding the difference. Am I the butthole? Max Howe says, NTA. Why are people fishing so hard for compliments and recognition? Caring for your kids seems like the least you should do. Solenthis87 says, NTA single parents are a different breed of parent and definitely are deserving of recognition. However, this joke / saying / concept, or whatever you want to call it, got old a long time ago. The fact is that your sister is a hypocrite here, and her going as far as deleting the comment and even blocking you before calling you just to call you an asshole shows that she knows that. Good luck getting her to admit it, but it seems like it's okay for her to make such statements because she is a woman, while the friend, a man, doing it is beyond the pale. She's wrong, she knows it. She's just pissed because you didn't say anything that wasn't true. Spare article 396 says, NTA. It's a bullshit double standard. Raina Mist says, NTA she's wants credit on a day that should be for hard-working dads, just like for Mother's Day credit is for the hard-working moms. Kami Sang says, NTA it's not different. She is a hypocrite. Trick Photographone 9758 says, NTA. Sounds like the girl boss energy is strong with this one. Wolf of Mandalore 2010 says, NTA. She said it's different translation, it's the same, but I'm saying that it's different because I don't want to admit that I was wrong. Immediate at 4814 says, NTA my sister had people under the impression she was a single mom when she still lived with her ex-husband, sharing the same bed. I commented that all the kids had fathers in the picture. She had another child she split custody with as well. She got mad and unfriended me, then got mad at me. Now that the ex has passed, she is a single mom to 3 out of 4 kids. r/am I the butthole? Positive Design 346 says, am I the buttholer for being the reason my friend got fired? I've been working at a research facility for almost 10 years with a friend who joined 2 years ago. Let's call him Mike. We've been friends since college. While Mike was on vacation last week, a day before his vacation was over, I was passing by his workroom, only accessible by him, and heard an unusual spilling sound. I assumed it's a chemical. Knowing the facility too well, including the safety precautions that I read every month, I immediately left the facility and called 911. The reason why I didn't call him first is how fast and catastrophic things can go. Turns out to be a harmless chemical that won't cause a fire, but the spilling almost reached the sink. Mike got immediately fired, since if the chemical went to the sink, it would cause a huge issue. Mike got furious at me because I didn't call him first and told me that he was already in town back from vacation and he cold driven and fixed it himself. Am I the butthole? Coldstream Couple says, NTA, had you called Mike first and he had gone in and died or been severely injured, had it been a more dangerous chemical, you'd be dealing with a whole heap of other issues right now. Look, it's unfortunate if he made a mistake and it cost him his job, but that's his lesson to learn, not yours. Lemon Charlie says, if it was spilling and was in a room only he had access to, then he didn't secure its container well enough before going on holiday. He's annoyed at being caught out for his mistake. Even if Op did contact him, Op just knew he was on leave for his holiday. There's no guarantee he'd be able to stop the spill reaching the sink before it could do damage. Account Mitosis says, NTA, as long as you followed your workplace's standard safety procedures, which it sounds like you did. Safety regulations are written in blood. And there's no such thing as a truly harmless substance in this world. Even a spill of the cleanest, healthiest water can cause great damage to a building and other assets, if there's enough of it, or create workplace hazards to people, by causing equipment to rust, or any number of other things. And you couldn't know which chemical was being spilled from outside the door. It could have been one that was significantly more hazardous than water. If your friend was fired based on this incident, it's because your company assessed his actions and the impact they could have on the company and made their own decision. You weren't the reason he got fired. His failure to maintain his equipment is the reason. There are plenty of factors involved in this decision that you had nothing to do with. All you did was respond appropriately, and everything else was completely out of your hands. Your company's security/safety personnel, and possibly government inspectors, if this was an incident that triggered the need for those, are probably thinking things like, if he allows a spill of a somewhat problematic chemical, does that mean he would also allow a spill of a very dangerous chemical? They might have examined his other equipment and looked to see if it's been maintained properly over time. They might have assessed whether he's been complying with all the trainings he's required to do. They might have looked at the potential impact of the chemical in question reaching the sink and what implications that could have for the company. For instance, big regulatory trouble for allowing a chemical to reach the water supply. Chemical spills can be expensive, dangerous to people, and destructive to physical assets. Emergency responses can cause big expenses, stress in employees, and bad public perception. The company needs to protect itself, its assets, and its workers. If the people in a company are acting rationally, then they are taking all of that into account, and you're not responsible for their decisions. And if they are acting irrationally, then you're also not responsible for their decisions, because they're not making rational decisions based on fact. My life is weird says, NTA, the safety of everyone comes first. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.